Ew, ew. Big fish ish. Y'all know what it is. So today, it's nighttime. What time is it? It's like 10:41. I don't know when I'm gonna be putting this one out. I may just put it out right afterwards, depending on how long it takes YouTube to download. But I had a little something on my chest for y'all that I wanted to talk about. A lot of times as I'm just going throughout the day, certain things come to mind. Like I'm always thinking, I'm always observing, always trying to figure out a way to improve, to elevate, to grow in various areas. And of course, y'all know that I'm reading. I'm actually almost done. I'm on the last chapter. And I had a lot of takeaways from this book, a lot of takeaways, um, all positive. Like I said before, it validated a lot of the evidence that I had already seen in my life, but it validated it in a different way because I used to think that certain stuff would just apply to me, and it was just a unique lesson that I'm learning. However, nah, it's across the board. And like I said, this book was written almost 100 years ago. I keep saying that. I need to just double check. On the next video, I'll know. But it was written so long ago, but the principles still apply to this day. And in areas that I wasn't even really expecting it to apply. Even from an area, I'm about to read actually a chapter on the symptoms of fear and ill health. That's something that we talked about with the podcast. I'm not sure if y'all saw the deep dive with Alex, but we were talking about the fear aspect when it came to the pandemic and mental health in general, and overall health. But we're not talking about this book. Actually, we're going to touch on it a little bit, but this is not a review. But I want us all to stop wasting our dreams. To stop wasting our dreams. And I'm speaking to myself. It's always like as you're pointing to somebody, you got, three fingers pointing back at yourself. But stop wasting our dreams. We have to stop wasting our dreams because we're wasting them on too little dreams. Our imagination, something that this book touches on, our imagination is too weak. Our dreams are too small. And we have to understand that when we think about a dream that we have, our minds, if we're thinking about them enough, and if we have enough faith, enough actions behind it, we're going to start, like our minds start to, and energy in the universe starts to help us figure out and give us opportunities so we can achieve um, a, a particular goal or accomplish a dream. And we see it all the time. We may not take advantage of those opportunities, but opportunities are going to present themselves. Um, Strategies are going to present themselves. Plans are going to present themselves that may not necessarily be easy, but they'll put us in a position to get whatever it is that we say we desire, if our desire is strong enough. Of course, touching on the book. But why I say stop wasting our time with small dreams are because sometimes we think too far in the moment, too much in the moment, I should say, not far enough, or not even to say far enough in the future, but just not big enough in the moment. I'll give you an example. When I was playing football, the goal was to just get to the NFL. Get to the NFL, make a roster. That was the ultimate goal. As soon as that happened, there was a little bit of a fire missing. And it's hard. Like I'm telling you, what it took to make that team, over those weeks of training camp, it was. It's funny. It's the hardest that I had to go. Like especially in practice, like I just turned into a different person, but it flowed. Like it was very. And I got to go back to the book where they talk about things are going to be almost effortless. This may be my words, but one of the things that they talked about was like it's not supposed to be, or it may not be super duper hard. We're used to things, or at least I'm used to things being a grind where you gotta actually put in work and get a result. Not to say that this book is saying something different, but in this particular moment, when I was trying to make my first NFL team, it like almost I got in a zone where it flowed. Like I was working hard, focusing on a whole nother level, but it just flowed. Like I started to let go of the things that I couldn't control and to just take advantage of everything that was in my control. And that allowed me to just flow. Now, as soon as I made the team, not to say that I took the foot off the gas. I mean, I guess that's the best analogy, but it just wasn't. And I don't know if I could have kept, at that same level of just focus and determination. Um, However, if I would have found a way, I would have played better. I would have been in a better position, whatever that would have looked like. I think I would have been in a better position to take advantage of whatever opportunity came my way. Not to say that I wasn't locked in, but it just was a difference. You know what I mean? Like that was the ultimate goal. And a lot of times, I wish I would have had the ultimate goal of being the best safety ever, or being in the Hall of Fame, or whatever that may have been, because it would have aligned me with a different plan of action to get to that particular point, rather than the plan of action to just make the team. So now I want to go back to why I said we can't waste time with small dreams, because for one, a lot of us have already had a lot of our childlike gifts taken from us just based on the reality of this world that we live in, or the perceived reality, the reality that we allow to set in for ourselves, where we convince ourselves that we can't take as many chances, we can't dream as quote unquote, I don't mean this at all, quote unquote crazy and wild. Um, I don't think it's crazy at all. That's why I put the air quotes. But we convince ourselves that we can't have stuff that was so easy for us to imagine vividly as children, even as young adults. And that's a problem. And that's something that this book talks about. Imagination, creativity, um, dreams, those are the things that allow us to create plans to accomplish these monumental goals that we have for ourselves. These quote unquote miracles that, people tend I guess, to describe as miracles. They may not be miracles. They just may be somebody receiving a way, a plan of action, and following through with that plan to do something. And their something was just a lot bigger and more extravagant and more challenging in some ways than what everybody else is asking for. So why do I say once again that we can't waste time dreaming small? A lot of times if we're struggling to pay the rent today or a car payment, then next month a miracle may just be, not only was I able to save, not only was I able to pay off everything, but I saved a couple $100s. That may be what some people see as a miracle. I'm not down in that at all. However, imagine if we would have had a bigger goal, had a bigger dream, because there were certain things where, okay, the goal was to just, man, I just hope that I could just pay off these bills, have a little something extra on the side. The universe put us in position to do those things. We did them, but then you sit back and you're like, damn, I wish I would have, put out into the universe a certain energy that would give me a plan for something greater. Because I'm just realizing, like, this is why it's 10:50 right now on a Monday. I've been working, like recording, doing stuff since about 8. Since I worked out early, got back, did the morning show with Kamari, worked all day in the city, had a dinner out in the city or up in Westchester, drove to that after the city, then came back home and had just hopped on with y'all because This was just that important. And I wanted to get it out before I go to sleep and I start having my dreams, my visualization of certain things that I um, aspire to become and certain things that I aspire to attain. And I want y'all to get this information as soon as y'all can because our thoughts really do, they may not control what happens, but they control what opportunities present themselves. And then it's on us to do what we can to make it happen with that particular opportunity. And it may not just be step one, do this, step two, do this. No, no, no. It's just going to be little things that if you follow it, at least this is what's happening with me. I'm just giving y'all the game on what's happening with me. Some doors may close. Some doors may close, but it's important to stay positive with all of this stuff. You hear the book, The Secret, this book, all the, it's important to stay positive with certain stuff because it works both ways with the negative. What you focus on, those opportunities are going to become what you become. You know, those opportunities are going to come your way. So for me, the challenge is staying positive, even when, if I ask for something huge and something that I may think of right now that's big may close, but I got to trust the fact that my work, my discipline, my desire, my faith, all these different things are going to put me in a position to get that bigger thing that I'm looking for. We talked about it on the morning show. Sometimes we got to clear out a certain type of energy to open the doors and make room for the energy that we're asking for. This is no different. But we have to be positive, not be fearful. Fear, that's a huge one. Can't be fearful. Can't be fearful. Like I can't be thinking about um, I'm looking for a spot, a couple, I can't be fearful of, oh, well, I can't look for this type of apartment or this type of house because, well, what if this happens, then this happens, then this happens? I got to be safe. I'm talking about from a personal standpoint. I know me. I'm going to work. I know that I've developed a certain skill set, a certain network, support system. I'm not failing. I'm not taking L's. I'll take some lessons and learn some stuff, but I'm not taking L's. Why? Because I'm not giving up. If I set my mind to it, I'm not giving up until it's done. So I know what opportunities are going to present themselves when it comes to me. I know what's important to me, my family, my purpose. Um, that's what I'm locked in with, and I know that that's going to open up certain opportunities that wealth, riches, all these other things, those everything's coming in abundance. As long as I stay true to my purpose. And by staying true to my purpose, I'm going to have the faith, the desire, the positive outlook more than anything, no matter what I'm going through. Having that positive outlook, it's gonna send me back a certain energy that's undeniable. It's undeniable because when you match that with what I'm willing to give, what I'm willing to sacrifice, come on now. It's it's just math at that point. It's just math at that point. It's simplified at that point. Once you're willing to do all those things, to sacrifice, to commit, the opportunities are there, the support system, it's just simple math. Things are going to add up, subtract, come out to an equation where I already know what that's going to look like at the end of the day. So we have to be very careful about our thoughts, our thought pattern, what we are manifesting, our energy, our mindset, because all those are going to determine how big of a dream or how big of a nightmare ends up coming our way. Because, like I said, it's the yin and the yang. You can't have it. The same way it works on a positive end is the same way that it's going to work on the negative end. But if we're dreaming big, and that's what, like, it's like when you think about it, whoever, whoever you believe created us, the creator, the universe, God, we are some interesting beings, creations, because we don't, it's like we have to draw from certain stuff that was so natural and easy and habit as children to dream. Every day was like, oh, oh yeah, I like that what that guy does. I'm gonna become a doctor too. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be an NBA player and an NFL player too. You you believed it as a kid. You believed it as a kid. And you know what? You were presented with opportunities. We were presented with opportunities to do all those things. Now, whether we committed and took advantage of the opportunities, that's something different. But we have to, it's like when I say we're interesting creatures, I don't want to use the word perfect creatures, but we are very interesting creatures. We're creatures that make sense. Like a lot of this stuff makes sense because we couldn't have everything at once. Like if we had the sacrifice and discipline and focus that we can have as adults, the responsibility, but the time, the dreams, the blind ambition in a lot of ways. I'm saying blind because it's like you haven't been, society hasn't chosen which way you're going to see things. You're blind to everything. Like anything is possible. It's an empty canvas. Not blind as in you can't see, but blind as in they're not controlling what you see. You're not just looking through the lens that society chooses for us as we get older and older and as quote unquote life wears us down. And I hope this isn't coming across as like some moon and the stars stuff. I don't even know what that means when I say moon. I hope it comes across as very practical and simple rather than it coming across. Actually, I don't know. I don't hope it comes. I hope it comes across however it comes across because I'm picking my words not carefully but very intentionally because I want y'all to understand this. Like, this is literally every amazing idea, every amazing company, every amazing athlete, every amazing business person, every amazing educator. It all started with inventor. It all started with just an imagination. Every great detective, we're all solving different problems in life and overcoming different challenges. And in a lot of ways, the person who's most creative, they're going to figure out different ways to solve similar problems that somebody else may have, but just figuring out it in a different way. That's what could. That's what can separate you from who you want to become. I'm not gonna say separate you from the crowd. Separate you from who you want to become. Separate who you are right now from that amazing person that you see in your mind. You may have dreams about it, whether it's daydreams or while you're sleeping at night. There's little things that are separating us from becoming that person that we dream of. That person that our parents think of us as. That person that your significant other may have one time fell in love with, but now they don't see it, or they just always saw that as the potential. Like, we have the ability to maximize and go beyond whatever it is we think our potential is. But we have to be able to use our imagination. We have to dream, and we can't waste dreams on the small ones. Not to say they can't be a part of the overall, greater dream, but that can't be the end of the journey. It can't be the end all be all because it's not enough. It may feel like it's enough in the moment. When we're hungry, we may feel like, listen, God, if you just give me one meal, that's all I'll ever ask you for. As soon as you eat that meal, and as soon as you get hungry again, so let's not ask for a meal, just one meal. Let's ask for an amazing plan to create something that allows you to not only feed you and your family for the rest of your life and their lives, but let's go beyond that. Let's feed everybody. Let's figure out, you know what I mean? Like, that's what imagination takes it. Imagination takes it. It should be above and beyond, bigger than just solving the temporary needs and short-term needs that we have right now. And I understand that that's easy to say from somebody who's not hungry right now. I get it. But there's nothing stopping you from asking for an abundance of food. You don't have to just ask for one and think that you have to make a deal, to where you're not worth more than one. Nah. Ask for more than one, ask for abundance, and then when the plan comes in your mind, have the desire, have the will, have the strength, have the discipline, have the focus, have the faith to actually carry that out in real life and keep going. And now you're the light that's motivating, inspiring others, leading them. So just really wanted to share this with y'all. Stop dreaming small. Stop selling ourselves short. We are literally the universe, God's most amazing creation. I don't care what technology we develop. We will always be the most amazing invention, creation, form of technology, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, ever to be assembled. But the only way that we can maximize and live up to that potential is to never lose our imagination, never lose our creativity, and to stop dreaming so small. Because when we dream small, it shows our insecurities. It shows the lack of belief in the value that we bring to the table. And it's just weak. It's like it's not doing anything. It's not doing anything. Be courageous. Be fearless. And know that we can and will accomplish whatever it is our mind can envision. That's it. That's life right there. So with that, please make sure that y'all are subscribing to the page. Make sure that you're liking the videos. Share with a friend, please. Share with a friend. We're growing the channel. We're not trying to grow the channel. We're growing the channel, and we're growing the value that we're going to be bringing to all of you all. And we're excited about it. And the more people that can come along the journey, the better. All right? So I'll leave y'all with that. See y'all soon. Ooh.